The shark meshing program is a fishing activity involving the placement of nets off beaches and other waters to protect the public from sharks. The shark meshing program was established for the protection of swimmers and surfers against shark attacks, though the establishment of swimming zones blockaded by submerged nets. The initial incentive of this net was to capture sharks and prevent their escape until they drowned. However, over the years, the ethicality of this approach of shark culling has become greatly controversial. As more is discovered about marine species, the more we become aware that some shark species are in decline and that other marine animals are at risk of extinction. The effectiveness of shark netting can be considered effective at entrapping and blocking shark species from metropolitan beach areas. However, there is great concern regarding netting by catch of other endangered marine species, such as sea turtles, dugongs, dolphins, and whales. The shark meshing program was introduced in 1937 in Sydney. From our research today, we have found that the program is effective to a degree, but does need further research to increase its life-saving abilities and decrease the number of shark deaths. It can be effective. However, it doesn't only trap sharks, but also other harmless marine life that may be endangered, such as some species of turtles, finfish, and dolphins. We believe that it is necessary to address the issue of both deaths and attacks of humans and sharks, but as far as the program goes, there may be better ways of deterring sharks from entering urban beach areas. Some alternatives that can change the statistic of shark attacks instead of using the net system are implementing higher lifeguard numbers to increase observation and awareness, thus reducing the risk of a shark attack. Aerial observation is when a helicopter or fixed-wing plane flies over beaches to observe sharks in the immediate area. This is effective in raising a shark alert quicker than a lifeguard tower. This method can also be problematic, as the surveillance is limited to 2 minutes per beach, which is not an effective enough time to catch a shark moving through. Another problem is that it costs a lot of money to run these aerial observations. Electronic and chemical deterrents have been researched as substitutes to shark meshing programs, yet these methods have proven non-effective in ocean waters. All of these methods have been trialled and proven effective to some degree, with further investigation and development. This may overtake the current controversial shark meshing method. The shark meshing program has a negative effect on the shark and other population of ocean dwellers. The nets aren't repelling the sharks, they are capturing and killing them. Also protected species such as whales, dolphins, and manta rays also get trapped in these nets as bycatch. Appalling numbers of 2,211 turtles, 8,448 rays, and 2,310 dolphins. Ironically, other protected species, the majestic but terrifying great white shark, is regularly caught in shark nets in significant numbers, and no one really knows that removing such a high-level predator from the marine food chain will do. Just redo that. The shark meshing program has a negative effect on the shark and other population of ocean dwellers. The nets aren't repelling the sharks, they are capturing and killing them. Also protected species, such as whales, dolphins, and manta rays, also get trapped in these nets as bycatch. Appalling numbers of 2,211 turtles, 8,448 rays, and 2,310 dolphins. Ironically, another protected species, the majestic but terrifying great white shark, is regularly caught in shark nets in significant numbers, and no one really knows what removing such a high-level predator from the marine food chain will do. It could be said there was a time, place for nets. Years ago, the public knew little about sharks, and the fear of attacks was running high, and shark populations were far healthier than they are today. But now, with technology and greater knowledge of the impact the nets have on the marine life, better techniques and research needs to be looked at. From this graph, you can see the fatalities from shark attacks has drastically changed since the nets have been put in, but attacks themselves have not changed in Sydney. Our smaller sharks can still get through and bite humans, whereas bigger, more dangerous sharks are kept out. But this data does not show the population difference in the ocean dwellers. Keeping the shark nets will gradually end up in the decline of many species through bycatch. Reed and Crowe observed that many species are dying due to the SMP by getting tangled. However, if we were to remove these nets, swimmers and surfers are practically susceptible to unprovoked attacks. Professor Green states that from 1791 to 2009, there were 222 unproven attacks, with only 126 happening in the ocean beaches of New South Wales. He indicates that the overall number of attacks in the 37 years before the SMP was underway was roughly the same. If we don't remove or improve the technology in SMP, we run the risk of lowering the ocean's biodiversity, but in retrospect, removing the SMP places the people at increased risk. The use of SMP nets is highly controversial. The program has had mixed results, drastically reducing the amount of human fatalities, but at the same time lowering the ocean's biodiversity due to bycatch of endangered species. More research in alternative technologies such as deterrence and improved nets is required to have a program that doesn't compromise the biodiversity of the ocean, but at the same time keeping our beaches safe for swimmers.